Okay, we are back. We have Shen from UCSD versus Shea from US Air Force Academy. Shen is on the right and Shea is on the left. Leanne Singleton-Comfort will not be joining us for this bout because she is currently, not at this exact second, but she will be screaming her head off for her teammate Shea in a moment. And so this should be an interesting bout. Shen is sometimes a bit of a slow starter in her bouts because she likes to gather information and see what the other person is doing. But then once she gets it, she usually takes control of the bout pretty well. Nice touch. Nice touch to start. Usually in sabre you want to start by exuding some pressure in the first zone, but Shen has been going backwards a little bit more. There's the pressure I was just talking about. Oh, nice touch. That looked like a very well-timed and well-executed counterattack, but Shea was able to use a pretty good angle to go around it. Attack in preparation from right. More of that pressure I was talking about in the first zone. Though she may be a slow starter, usually Shen is not a slow starter in this bout. She's using that pressure that she created in the first zone to set up some very nice pulls. Nice parry by Shea. That was good footwork by Shen, but she got a little bit surprised by the blade action that Shea chose to use. That was a slightly weak execution on that action. She needed to use her feet more and not get so stuck and relying on her hand there. That was better. She moved back. But couldn't land her opposed. Being on the high leg, it's a little bit difficult because you don't have any spring from your feet. Good setup on the counterattack, but again, Shea is able to get around it by having her arm in an outside position that the closeout doesn't make a difference in. Another attack in preparation. That's the third touch that Shen has gotten using that exact same action in this bout. And usually she follows it up with a distance pull, which she did there too, but it was not executed very well. The biggest thing that is keeping Shen from completely running away with this bout is the execution of her actions. And that would have been attack for Shea had two lights come on, but to this point, Shen has been going backwards every time in that situation, and so that was a nice mix-up for her. She went in instead of out and was rewarded with the touch. And this time, although it may seem very similar to the other actions that Shen has been winning, the fact that they both have such similar names is killing me. Shen has usually been winning that action, but this time she waited a little too long on her feet, and Shea made a more aggressive adjustment with the way she was attacking, not giving her any time to hit her in preparation between any extra arm motions. Nice reprise by Shen. In the past, you've seen her kind of giving that action up, but she's gotten the last two touches by using that action. So I really like what Shen is doing right now. She's putting good pressure in the first zone, and she's doing good actions as well. She's just not executing them perfectly. So if I were her coach, I would tell her to continue doing the same thing that she's been doing because it's been working quite well, and the onus is always on the person who's losing to adjust to what the person who's winning is doing, usually. And I would be telling her that she needs to execute her pulls with more footwork and not getting so stuck in place and relying as much on her blade as she is. Because when she moves her feet, she executes the action correctly. She usually not gets the touch, but she usually stops the attack that's coming towards her. And for Shea, I would say that she needs to slow down a little bit in the first zone so that when Shen tries to either do one of those high-speed attack and preparations or go backwards to make her short, she can recognize which situation is coming and either pull the attack and preparation or extend her own attack to be able to go after Shen when she moves backwards, especially since Shen has not been able to execute the pull very well, very consistently. So we'll see if the fencers make changes similar to that. Reprise from the right is successful. This time they both stop and right starts a little bit faster. Shea is still starting fast, but that was a very nicely executed pull by Shen. You can see that the execution was better because she was in an on-balance position when she made the pull with 3 steps back instead of just 1 and an upright pull. And that's the adjustment I was talking about from Shea, starting a little bit sooner so that she can make that attack in preparation miss and then take an attack afterwards of her own. Oh, nice touch. She missed because she was going a little too fast, but again, the execution from Shen was not great. It was pretty good, but not perfect. And the repose from the high leg was easy for Shea to parry. And that's a very similar touch. She's really controlling the first zone very, very well. I think Shea needs to slow down a little bit more than what she's doing. That's the slow start that I was talking about. She didn't continue her attack. She instead opted to stop and take a fast reprise. But it was successful, so that was the slow start I was talking about, but she fell into the trap of watching too much instead of dictating the action herself. And Shen got the attack and prep that she's been getting very successfully the whole bout. That was a touch that I think that Shea should be doing much more often. Slow with a little burst of speed to get Shen to commit. A nice little extension on that to punish Shen's weak execution again. If I were her coach, I would be telling her to move her feet again on that action. Reprise from the left. Yep. Reprise from the left is successful. I called that one ahead of the referee. Sorry, Adam. Oh, nice pull. That's exactly the touch I was talking about. A little risky to do it in place like that, but it was successful, so nice touch. A nice little extension, and Shen is still not executing that pull very well. And that is the problem with executing that action in place, the one that Shea did before, because it's not particularly repeatable if the other person is expecting you to do that, which is the problem that Shen has been having as well. Attack from the right is successful. That's again a half action from Shea, not moving her feet enough. And again, we're in a sudden death situation. Attack and preparation. Nice touch. Shen had been extending her attack in order to hit Shea when she moved backwards a little bit, but this time Shea made a little body fake showing that she was going backwards and lunged into Shen's extra step. Very, very nice touch. It's risky to do something like that, and you can see how upset Shen is. Obviously, getting so close at 14-14, it is upsetting. Pretty classy of her to then give Shea a hug. You can see how happy the U.S. Air Force Academy is for her. Still got a big smile on her face, though. 14-14 loss is always hard, but she made it to the finals and fenced the closest bout you can. So it is upsetting, but it's hard to be too disappointed in yourself with that. But all in all, a really good bout with some very nice adjustments between the two athletes in that gold medal final in women's sabre.